Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden and welcome back to my August garden tour, my 1 year later garden tour. So we moved into this property exactly 1 year ago. Actually, exactly 1 year ago today is when the moving trucks came, and it's just crazy. This past year has gone by so fast. It feels like just last month that we moved into this property. But when I look at the video that I did, my before garden tour that I did right before we moved into this home, and then I look at what it looks like now, it's mind-blowing. I cannot believe how much we got done in a year, and I'm super excited just to kind of keep going because we have all these plans. We're on a roll now. I finally feel like we have a good idea of what this property wants, and I'm just so excited. So yesterday I showed you all the front garden and all the plans and all the changes that we did to the front garden. Now let's head into the back garden, but I'm going to get started with this shade garden, the secret shade garden. Let me show you all what the garden looked like before when we first moved in. So this clip was from exactly a year ago, and you can see there was pretty much nothing here on this side of the house. So here is what it looks like today. You can see that I have my espalier over here, and then we've done a lot. First of all, we put in this decomposed granite pathway with the edge right middle edging. I have this kind of circle area right here that I'm planning to put something in the middle right there, I think. I'm not totally sure. And then we've extended the pathway out to the side of this house, or side of the house. So my plan for this area was to be a secret shade garden, like I said. And I did living walls on either side. I did these wire trellises, and I'm growing Clematis armandii up them, which it hasn't grown too much this year, which I didn't really expect it to because, of course, it's the sleep, creep, leap thing. We're in the sleep year. Next year it'll creep year, and then the third year it'll be all over the place. We have had some troubles with this side of our house. This is the north side of our house. So when I moved in last year, I kind of was looking at it as in like late fall type of thing, and it had a lot more shade than it had in the depths of summer, June and July. So I had planned for this to be my shade garden, but actually the sun gets quite high in the sky over here, and so this shade garden actually gets quite a lot more sun than I expected, and a lot of the plants that I thought would do really well in this area have not done well at all. And I think that there's a couple reasons. I think one, there's not enough shade for the shade plants I'm planting, but two, I have this darn black walnut tree right here, and I know that a lot of plants really suffer with this black walnut tree, in particular peonies, and I planted a peony right there, and that's not doing well. So what is doing well is this surefire white begonia. I mean, look at how crazy this thing is. It's so happy. It's completely taken over this whole garden bed, which is great because begonias do really well underneath black walnut trees. There's some over there, and the surefire rose begonia can handle both shade and sun, so it doesn't matter. So I think that that's the type of plants I'm going to have to plant in this shade garden, is plants that can handle both shade and sun, because at different times of year it's shady, and different times of year it's sunny. Now, as the Clematis armandii grows up and over these living walls, I think I'm going to have more and more shade as time goes on. But at least for right now, I'm going to have to kind of watch it. I had a whole bunch of Brunner right here, dead. My two big hostas right here, not happy at all, and just everything is kind of suffering a little bit. So that's okay. On this side though, this side's closer to the house. The heuchera is doing really well. My hydrangeas over there in pots are doing well. My false hydrangea vine is starting to climb up the wall. So we're getting somewhere with this area. I'm excited about it. I just need to be kind of patient about it and take my time. The one thing that I really need to get done in this area is the fence, because the fence is like falling over, especially in this area. So we are probably going to start redoing the fence in sections, just to kind of save money. And this is definitely going to be the first section because this poor fence is literally on its last leg. So I think for the next couple months, Jason's going to go and kind of try and support it and get it to stand up and not fall over. But it's, you know, it's like one big storm and this fence is going down for sure. I do want to say there are goats on the other side over here, but there is another fence. There's a goat fence on the other side of this fence. So if this fence falls down, there's still another fence over there. So I don't have to worry too much about the goats getting in and eating my plants. I mean, you never know. They might, but there is another fence. Okay, and then coming in the back, let me show you a couple pictures. One of the deck, the red deck that we had. Oh my goodness. And we have painted the entire house. And then here's a look of what the backyard looked like. There was absolutely nothing there. There was 2 palm trees. And then my office was this bright blue color. And man, there has been so many changes. So here's the deck now. We painted it a gray color on the deck and then black accents and the black pergola, and just painting it made a huge difference. Just better than that red. I did want to show you all the Kiss Me Kate roses that are blooming right now for us for this tour. And then the California room over here, this is something that we really haven't addressed yet. This is all the old furniture that I had from my last house. Just threw it in here. Actually, just yesterday, I bought a table off Facebook Marketplace to put in here, and I'm really excited about it. So we will be working on this whole area, especially as it's gotten cooler, working on that. Then you can kind of see, I'll show you all the same view as that before view. This is what it looks like. Huge changes. First of all, you can see that we did paint the office from that blue color to white, and that made, oh my God, it made such a difference, such a huge difference. And then we did add in these raised beds. I don't want to call them raised beds because they're not raised beds. They're no-till beds, which basically I put about 6 inches of compost right on the ground, and then the metal is just holding that compost in place. So I'm basically just planting straight into the ground. And as you can see, it's working very well. And then no plans for this at all, but I ended up working with a company called Canopia, and they provided me with this beautiful greenhouse that just changed the whole look of this backyard. Just completely changed it. We have plans to have a pool eventually, but of course, financially, that's not going to work right now. So for now, I can enjoy this beautiful greenhouse. And we installed it, I think, in January or February, I would say. And so I haven't really had a lot of time to for it to be super useful, because I didn't get shade cloth up for the summer, and obviously it's been too hot to be in there. But I have a lot of plans for it. I'm really excited. I've gotten some really good inspiration for greenhouses. I did a garden tour in Ohio, someone named Nicholas, and he has a beautiful greenhouse, and the way that he decorated his greenhouse is exactly what I want to do with my greenhouse. So that is something that I'm going to be doing this year. Back to these beds, you can see they're not filled all the way up to the top of these metal edging containers. Oh, there's my pruners. I always do that. So you can see they're not filled, and that's actually a question that I get super often is, why didn't you fill your raised beds all the way up? Well, it's because they're not raised beds. And the no-till method, you can put 6 inches of compost in, and then you can either just leave it with no edging around the side, or you can do something as easy as just put like fence posts or 2x4s around the side to hold the compost in. Well, when I was doing this, the cost of wood was so high that it was actually just cheaper for me to buy these things off of Amazon. Each one of these was $50 each. I'll link them down below. They're not like the most sturdy things ever, but they do the job, and I kind of like how they look. I think that they look neat. And so that's all they're for, is just to hold the compost in place. You can see right here. Here's a good example. I just cleaned this out and I have sunflowers planted in. I have the worst luck at direct sowing, plant sunflowers and everything like that. But I figured there's so many sunflowers out front that the birds, I hope that they're distracted with those. I'm just going to try. We'll see. So I've just been planting veggies and cut flowers. All these dahlias right here are the Bee's Choice dahlias. I grew these from seed. They're from Floret, and they are stunning. They are so very beautiful. Now that it's cooling down a little bit, the dahlias are just looking better and better. There was one over here. Yeah, I could see from my office. Look at this dahlia. Is that not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? It's like red ombre kind of. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So this one I'm going to try and save the tuber for, to see if I can get it to bloom again. But is this on the same plant? It's on the same plant as this one. And this one looks more pink. You see that? Oh, but this one is just so beautiful. So beautiful. So my office is right here, and I basically sit right there. So that dahlia is just pointing straight at me. So anyway, then I have zinnias, and this is a chiclet yellow jessamine, and I had put it in here temporarily because I hurt my foot last fall, and so I couldn't plant out all the plants that I had. So I just temporarily put this plant in here. It's happy as a clam, and holy cow, the hummingbirds love this plant. I cannot tell you how many hummingbirds I've seen. Like, it has the perfect flowers for a hummingbird type of plant, right? These little tubular shaped flowers. But again, sitting at my office, I can just watch them, and it's like clockwork. They keep coming. It's so cute. So the other thing that was here, I have to show you, we had two big palm trees back here. We had two palm trees in the front and two big palm trees back here. We ended up taking out the palm trees, which I'm super happy that I took them out because they just didn't look right in this house, in this property. We didn't take the stump out of this one. The other stump is actually in that dahlia patch right there, and I'm just going to let it like disintegrate as time goes on. This one we're going to have to take out because I've decided I do want to put a shade tree right here. We just need some more shade in this property, and I said it in yesterday's video, this fall is going to be tree fall. And so I'm going through and I'm deciding where I want all my trees. And I think I definitely want a shade tree right here because it's the perfect place to give shade to our property, to have shade so that I can walk out to my office under shade. I think it will take away a little bit of the growing space, kind of in this first bed, but I have so much space, that's okay. And then as I was saying yesterday, for our center island, I'm planning to do the California no-mow native grass, which is kind of like a longer grass that doesn't need as much water and all that kind of stuff. It's really, really great. And so I'm planning to do that in my center island. And I think I'm also planning to do that right here. So just for all of you grass lovers that really are like, when are you going to get grass? When are you going to get grass? That's my plan, to have the California no-mow grass back here. But obviously that's going to take some time. Over here, where Monty is modeling, we did this installation. This is the Goodland wood burning hot tub that we are absolutely in love with. The girls use it all the time. Jason and I use it all the time. We had planned to have like a regular hot tub here, but Jason I don't know what it is. He is not a fan of regular hot tubs. He just did not want one. But when I told him about this one, they provided us with this. By the way, I met them at the Northwest Flower and Garden Festival and made friends with them. I really just followed them around all weekend. and so they provided us with this so that we could, show it on the channel and everything like that. And we're in love with it. I did get this metal screen made for me. It is olive tree branches, and it's just so beautiful. This whole vignette is just the most beautiful, beautiful thing. I had a couple of people ask me what this metal box was for. This metal box is to store wood, and we're out of wood right now, but honestly, we haven't been using this as a wood burning hot tub right now. We've been using this as like a cold plunge. It's not even cold, like a little pool basically is what we've been using it as. But as the weather gets cooler, we will start putting wood in there, and then we have this beautiful axe to cut it if we need to. I need to get a log that I can cut the wood on. So anyway, so this is new. Jason installed this little patio area. It's the same gravel that is in the front yard and the same gravel that's inside the greenhouse. I'll show you all that in a sec. This whole patio right here, though, it's going to get extended. We're going to extend it out another kind of square this way. And then if you come around this way, we're going to extend it all the way over to the garage wall over there. And then kind of following the gravel, we're going to extend it out to my office so I have an easy place to walk to my office. So that's the plan. We had to wait, though, because Jason installed this, was it April? I want to say maybe May. And it got so hot, you guys. The poor guy, he was sweating. He was like bright red and so tight. And I had to come out here and keep telling him to go like take a break. It was just way too hot. So we stopped this until the weather cools off a little bit. We're still in the 90s, so we're not going to start this again. But hopefully over the winter, we will be able to finish this. And then I will have some concrete stepping stones out that way through the no-mow grass. This is the plan. Things might change. This is where we're at as of August of 2024. So then I wanted to show you all my hibiscus hedge that I am in love with. It didn't grow enough this year. I just planted them as bare roots this year. So hopefully next year it'll get even bigger. I'm hoping that it'll get really, really big and kind of overflowing. I did just prune back some of my neighbor's trees so that it would have a little bit more sun. But I think again, I just kind of have to wait. So you can see this tube right here. This is how we drain the wood burning hot tub. I get a lot of people asking me, how do you clean the wood burning hot tub? Well, you just drain it and you just refill it, and it, you know, makes it really, really easy, and it's clean and it doesn't have any chemicals. And the hibiscus love water. So it's perfect to drain it. I just kind of bring it along, and then I have a watering can to get down where the hose can't drain, and I just water it, and they're super happy. They appreciate the extra water. So hopefully that will start growing. Now these are deciduous and they die down basically to the ground. Basically in February, you want to cut them back to about 6 inches. So you basically have little sticks, and they're the last things to come up in the season. So there's going to be nothing here for quite a while, but my plan is to plant some foxgloves. I have some Dalmatian apricot. How do you say it? I'm going to put on the screen right now because I'm blanking on how you say it, but basically apricot foxgloves, and I'm going to plant those in between because those will bloom when these guys are dormant, and then those guys will go away when these guys are going to show off. So I think it should be perfect. I think that will be a good companion planting for right here. Okay, and then back here underneath this beautiful olive tree, we have our fairy garden that we haven't been keeping up with. It's just been way too hot, but I'm sure as fall comes, I'll get the request from my daughters to do some more. But it's kind of just been sitting like that. And then back here, I have other foxgloves that obviously don't look very good right now, but they've been super happy underneath this other olive tree that I have right there. One of the things that I did plan on doing this year was to have a whole bunch of sunflowers all around the back of this greenhouse. It kind of worked. I didn't plant anywhere near enough of them, and I don't think I'm going to do it again next year. I think what I'm going to do is plant some crepe myrtles behind. That was Michael Glassman's suggestion, is planting crepe myrtles back here, and I think I am going to do that. So that'll probably be something that I do this fall, and that will be a nice, beautiful, pink look behind this greenhouse. I did plant some flowers, some Supertunia Vista bubblegum, some Rockin' Plain the Blue salvia. I have my iceberg rose standards, just kind of a bunch of stuff, just because nothing, this is all kind of interim stuff. I think it looks really pretty, honestly, but I need to come back here and I need to amend all this soil. I didn't amend any of the soil back here this year except for inside the no-till beds, and it all needs it really, really, really bad. It definitely needs soil. So that's something we're going to be bringing in truckloads, I think, of, I'm sorry, I said soil, compost. I need to amend it with compost. So we're going to be bringing in like truckloads of compost just to amend it and get it kind of looking a little bit better. But for right now, I mean, you can't go wrong with Super Tunia Vista bubblegum. And then over here, we have our well and our tank. This, I am planning a hedge right here to kind of hide it. I want it to be like a living hedge, basically, so we can separate that area from this area. So that should be happening pretty soon. Back behind my office, I made this whole kind of seed starting potting area. And oh my goodness, you guys, I use this place so much. Absolutely so much. This is kind of like my dirty area where I can just, do you see the hummingbird? See the hummingbird on the honeysuckle? Ah, there's two. Oh my gosh. Sorry, getting super distracted by the hummingbirds. So this dirty area right here, this potting area / dirty area, holy cow, I use it so much. I cannot believe how much I've used it. And it's just so nice because you can be potting and then just kind of throw stuff over here, use water. I have my hose link right there that makes it super easy to water back here. It's great. Now, this whole area right here, this was like this when we moved in. It was almost like they had planned to have a bigger structure, and then they decided to make it smaller, maybe because of permitting or something like that. I don't know. But that's okay. I am going to use it to grow this pink lemonade honeysuckle that the hummingbirds like. I'm going to use it to grow that up and over, so it'll be kind of like a little arbor right there, which I think will be really, really nice. Isn't that pretty, the zinnias? Ah, looks so good. So the big change back here is our chicken coop. I, on a whim, decided that I wanted chickens, and I wanted the fluffy kind. I just fed them some watermelon. I gave them a treat, so let me see if they'll come out to me. Hi, girls. How are you? Hi, girls. So that is Princess Fluffy Butt, Maisie, and Hazel right there. Now, gosh, I want to say they're just about at egg laying age. Egg laying age is, I think, like 18 weeks or something like that. And yeah, no eggs. So, I mean, it's, I've heard that the silkies are not good egg layers, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. So our plan for this area, this whole chicken coop, / bunny hutch, was to have the chickens and the bunnies be out here together. The problem is that it's been so incredibly hot here this summer that the bunnies just have not been able to handle it. Even in the mornings, they just haven't been able to handle it. So we just decided to scrap that. The bunnies are inside in the bunny bungalow, which is our little ADU off of our house, and they've been in the air conditioning, while the chickens, the silkies, have been out here and they've been totally fine. So I mean, it's okay. I think as it gets cooler into the fall, we'll probably have the bunnies out here more. But when it's getting up to, you know, like the mid 90s, even that, it's just too much for the bunnies. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But we are loving the chickens. It's been so much fun. No eggs yet. I want to say they're basically egg laying age. They're like 18, 19 weeks at this point. And I know silkies aren't the best egg layers, but nothing yet. And I'm checking every single day. So if any of you have any tips to get them to start laying eggs, let me know, please. Okay, so the plan for this area right here behind the office, basically in between the office and the chicken coop, is to have kind of like another decomposed granite pathway kind of come out this way. So we are going to be filling in this whole area where the Vigo beds are. We're going to be filling it in with gravel. And you know what, you guys? I completely forgot to tell you the rest of my plans over here. Sorry. So we're going to have the stepping stones and we're going to have the no-mow grass over there. And then I'm going to take the metal edging and outline all of the beds right here and fill it with gravel. Did I say that? I can't even remember if I say that. I'm so sorry. I need another cup of coffee. But basically we're going to have gravel all over here on these beds, with the edge-right metal edging. If you watch the garden tour that I have airing on Sunday, it's Claudia's garden. She lives up in Oregon in the garden with Claudia, and she did that with her raised beds, and it was so beautiful. I had to copy her, and I won't even say copy. I was inspired by her. But that's my plan for over here. So over here, we're going to have gravel all around the beds. And then over here, you can see the runoff from these Vigo beds is kind of unsightly, right? We put these on concrete, and it's totally fine to put them on concrete, but you do get the runoff. And I could be washing that off a little bit better, and it would probably look better, but I don't have time for that. So my plan is to have kind of like metal edging. I don't know what I'm going to do because I have to put it into this asphalt right here. But I'm going to have metal edging around here and around here. And then I'm going to fill this whole area where my Vigo beds are up with the same gravel that's going to go around those beds. And it's the same gravel that's in between the pavers over there and in my greenhouse and all that kind of stuff. So gravel here, and then I will have a pathway from here that goes out here and around. So that's something else I want to do. Hopefully we'll get it done next year. But again, the center island in the front yard is the priority for next year. The thing I do want to get done next year is, again, amend all this area. This area is super compacted soil, needs to be amended with compost. So I'm going to come in and truck a whole bunch of compost. Basically, in this whole area, I'm going to be covering it with compost and more wood chips, so that hopefully the plants that I plant out here will be a little bit happier. So that's my plan for that. The Vigo beds we installed last year, I want to say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was last year. I love them here. I was a little bit worried because this beautiful Chinese pistache gave more shade than I thought it would. But lo and behold, the secret to growing tomatoes here in hot parts of California is they do need a little bit of shade in the hot afternoon sun. So they definitely get 6 to 8 hours of sun, but they're protected from the hot sun, and they're doing really, really well. They're almost too prolific, I would say. So, and I have my herb garden over here, and then these two beds are just kind of extra storage for plants that I had that I didn't know where to go. This is purple hyacinth bean that's growing up and over, so I'm really excited to see how far that will get before our first frost. Okay, then a quick before shot of this little patio area and then our metal workshop. I was hoping to get the metal workshop all organized this past year. That did not happen, but we are working on it right now. We did get the garage doors painted and a new light, and it looks so much better. So this is something that we are working on this fall. We are organizing it, getting it all painted on the inside. So it's going to be a really, really great spot to get some stuff done. But for now, it's kind of just, it is what it is. We are definitely working on it. And let me give you guys a sneak peek of the table that I just bought. Isn't that nice? So I just got this from Facebook Marketplace, and yes, I'm very, very excited about it. So that's kind of where we are at in the backyard right now. We've gotten a lot of stuff done, but a lot of stuff back here is kind of temporary. You know, we want to do more, but we want to do more in kind of like a different way, like the no-till beds. I'll probably put nicer beds in eventually, you know, and obviously the gravel and the sod, the California native sod, and then finish this patio. So there's still a lot of stuff that we need to get done back here, but we are making progress. And we're living back here. So we're seeing how we use it, what we need, where we need a shade tree, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I cannot believe it's been a year. I cannot believe it's been a year. It feels like just last month that we moved into this property. But when I stop and I look at all the stuff we've done, it's it's crazy. So I'm having so much fun. I keep telling myself to kind of slow down and to enjoy the process. And I am enjoying the process, absolutely. But I'm so excited to do the next thing and to do the next thing. That's kind of how my brain works, is I'm just constantly thinking about the next thing. And I have to slow down and I have to really start enjoying what we have done, because it is beautiful. And I am proud of Jason and I. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for joining us in this past year. It's been so much fun. This next year is going to be even better, I promise, because this past year has been a ton of stuff that we had to do, you know, like irrigation and mulching and weed control and just not the fun stuff. And now we're getting on to the fun stuff. So super excited about that. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.